Hello, doctor. I'm gonna start presenting my project. My project title is it easy for Lebanese graduates to choose a major? Students are facing difficulty when they reach grade 12, when they are forced to make a decision about what they will study in university. In Lebanon, career guidance is not present in public schools, while very few private schools apply it. So, this research will explore the indecision levels in choosing a major and will it differ if given a proper career guidance. Uh, 6 articles were read about this subject. First article is factors affecting the decision of first-year students in choosing their degree program and school. This is a descriptive quantitative study that studies what factors affect the choice of university and degree program for first-year students. It showed that parents and close family were the primary influence. Also, the high-quality standards that a university has will with the well-qualified instructors were the top factors that affected the choice of university. The location of the university didn't matter as long as the desired courses were offered, while ambitions to have opportunities to work abroad was the most influential interest towards the program chosen. The significance in this research is that it stresses on the degree of influence families have on students when choosing a major in university. The location didn't matter to students, but the reputation of the institution and the professors working in it were the most influential factors to choose the university to enroll in. The second article related to this subject is the influence on students' choice of college major. This research discovers what factors influence the student's career choice. It is a quantitative study. The researchers designed a questionnaire to indicate the factors that influence the decision of major and if the results vary according to gender. Both gender were influenced by the interest in the subject, while females were interested whether they were able to do the major of interest or not. Males were influenced by opportunities that a job gives, the financial outcome of certain majors, and the job advancement offered by this major. While when it comes to changing majors, there was no significant difference between genders. It is important to know that the interest in the subject and the compensation a major of choice give were the most influential in male students, while the interest in the subject and the ability to do it were the most influential in females. Also, that the parents are not that influential in the decision making of students. Another article on this subject is titled What Middle School Students Know About Career and the Influence Surrounding Their Career Choice. This study used a descriptive design using a qualitative and a quantitative data measure. It measures the middle school students' knowledge about careers, the factors influencing their career choice, and their knowledge of minimum education needed for the entry to the field. A financial literacy simulation activity and a personal financial class were given to students. A pre and post survey were required to be filled by students. The results showed that a small percentage of students know the requirements of their chosen career. The career awareness classes given enhanced their information about their desired major. Also, career development is based on proper career education. The family had a minor influence on the student's career choice, which contradicted to previous studies that showed parents' influence had a great impact on students' choice. But what differed here was that the participants were of different socioeconomic status than the participants in the previous studies. The methodology in this paper and the usage of financial literacy simulation activity was very interesting, and the results showed how students' conception about a certain job changed. Another article called Career Guidance, A Way of Life This article focuses on the importance of career guidance. It contains a clear definition for career guidance that is to assess students to make the right choice in the future. It elaborated on the importance of career guidance to create a good career choice and thus good future for the person to fulfill their aspirations and dreams. Career guidance is important to meet the needs of the country. If there is a need for in a certain profession, career guidance will guide students to major in this major. The abundance of of a certain major will lead to the increase in unemployment percentage among graduates. Career guidance should be present in primary, secondary, tertiary, and tertiary education in order to assure that a student is taking the right decisions that will shape his future at any early age. The relevance for this study is to show the importance of career guidance that should be present in early stages in the student's education to help them create a better vision of their future and prevent them from falling into the mistake of having the wrong choice that will have a major implication on their life. The impact of career guidance counseling has on the level of career indecisions in the career decision-making process of late adolescents in Cape Town is another article that was related to my study. This study aimed to measure how career guidance counseling reduces the difficulty of students in the career decision-making process. It is a quantitative study. The questionnaire was used to measure the indecision levels the students are facing while making the decision on what major they should enroll in. The results showed a significant difference in the level of readiness, lack of information, and inconsistent information after offering career guidance counseling, and the use of a control group and the career guidance counseling adolescent group helped to give a better comparison and understanding of the result. The application of the questionnaire for 2 times separately by 1 month time interval also added to the ability to compare if the students felt easier while choosing a major. The CDDQ questionnaire from this research will be used in my study in order to measure the indecision levels for the Lebanese students. The last article about this subject is called "The Lebanese Education System Heavy on Career Orientation, Light on Career Guidance." This chapter has an overview on the Lebanese economy and how there is a mismatch between the graduate's major and the country's need, a basic explanation of the Lebanese education system in the public and private sectors, and how it orients the students on what track to follow, whether it's general science, life science, sociology and economics, or philosophy and literature. The public sector is considered to have zero guidance. Very few private schools had proper guidance. In addition, they mentioned that the parents had a great role in influencing their children's major choice and that the influence was different when the parents lived abroad. Their influence was not limited. The technical schools had no guidance. As a result, many students repeat their first year for major change. The tertiary sector also had minor guidance. Some non-governmental organizations provide some guidance programs, while the UNRWA programs for refugees in Lebanon provided better career guidance for refugees. The importance of this chapter is that it gives a clear explanation of the Lebanese educational system in all sectors and how it starts by orienting the students in school in what sectors to take and then stops when guidance is needed when a big decision by a student should be made. Very few students across Lebanon are properly guided. The gap between the needs of the country and the major selected by the graduates is getting bigger, and that leads to an increasing number of graduates unemployment. So, 3 research questions emerged. Is it difficult for Lebanese students to choose a major? Is the indecision consistent with the public and the private school graduates? Do career guidance sessions reduce the difficulty of choosing a major for school graduates? Definition of terms. Guidance. It's defined as assisting the individual to prepare for his future life to fit him for his place in society. While career indecision, there is an individual who has to make a decision. There are a number of alternatives to select from, and there are many attributes that are considered in the comparison and evaluation of various alternatives. Career guidance is defined as helping individuals to make future life decisions concerning their desired job aspirations that are compatible with their interests and abilities. And the CDDQ is the Career Decision-Making Difficulties Questionnaire, which was developed by Gate et al. 1996, which is based on theoretical taxonomy and difficulties encountered in the decision-making process. The CDDQ measures the indecision levels of students depending on three categories, and out of each category emerges different subcategories. The first category is the lack of readiness, such as the lack of motivation, general indecisiveness, and dysfunctional beliefs. The second category is the lack of information, that is steps involved in the process of career decision making, the lack of information in the participant himself, and the lack of information of various occupations, and the lack of information on the ways of obtaining additional information. And the third category is the inconsistent information, whether it's from unreliable information or internal conflicts or external conflicts. The data collection. Our research sites will be two private schools and two public schools, while the participants are grade 12 students from the participating private and public schools. Permissions. A permission to use the CDDQ is required, also school permissions, parents' consent, and the IRB from the university. Ethical considerations. The privacy of the participant is ensured. There will be no use of actual names in the questionnaire. While in the results section, the participant's identity will stay anonymous, and there will be no physical or psychological harm for the participants. There will be three stages for data collection. The first stage is the introduction and the first response for the CDDQ by the participants. In stage 2, there will be career guidance videos over a period of 4 weeks. And in stage 3, there will be the second response for the CDDQ by participants. The private schools are going to have stages 1, 2, and 3, while the public schools will only have stages 1 and 3, and they will be considered as the control group that they didn't receive any career guidance to see their response afterwards. The questionnaire will be requested to be filled twice by grade 12 students with a gap of 1 month in between that will contain career guidance lessons for the private schools and no career guidance lessons for the public schools. This will be considered as a step to confirm the reliability of the findings. Internal consistency and retest reliability measures have been done in previous researches and will be done in this research too. The CDDQ has been used in many previous researches, and comparing our results to the previous results will add to the validity of the instrument. In addition, predictive validity of the CDDQ has been tested and supported by previous studies. Since we have two groups, one considered as a control group, the public schools participants, and the group received career guidance videos, the private school participants, this will help in validating the findings for the usage of the questionnaire. The limitations for the study would be the participants of the private and public schools are located in the Bekaa area. Being able to include other schools from the district will have a more generalized results representing the Lebanese populations. And recommendations for future research to measure the levels of indecision for students in the technical and vocational schools all across Lebanon, and the indecision levels of students that are registered in their freshman year in university. Thank you for your time.